Hey guys, it's your boy Pino aka DRP here, and welcome back to another video to my channel. And today guys, yes, as you can see from the title, I'm gonna go ahead and react to the latest death battle that came out on Wednesday. No, it didn't come out this Wednesday. I think it came out last week, I believe. I don't think I checked on it. Did it come out last? When did this even come out? Let me check. So bad. Yeah, it came out last week and I haven't checked it out. And it was a death battle that I was actually wanting to see. I was actually quite hyped up for it. But the problem is, with death battle kind of like instantly blocking my reaction to these death battles constantly. It's hard for me to really make reactions to death battles when they're fucking blocking it worldwide. They're blocking the whole video entirely, but then there are more subscribers out there. There are more channels out there with more subscribers than me are watching it without any problem. It's fucking annoying, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm just gonna try my best to do this reaction. If it doesn't work, then I might have to just cut down the research and then upload the battle only, because it just gets to the point where it's just a fucking joke, really. Rooster Teeth is kind of like, oh yeah, we don't mind anyone doing reactions, and then they just go off and just shut down people, really. I mean, it's the funniest thing is, like I said, I'm someone with, compared to other YouTubers out there, quite a small channel. So for the time being, I'm like one of the smaller channels out there. So it's hard to stay calm when a small channel gets striked, and then people like more subscribers, like you could say a good 100k subscribers or more than that, they watch the death battle without any problems, and I don't get how they do that. So I don't know what it is. It's YouTube is being YouTube. There you go. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and check out this death battle. It is Mob Psycho, Mob from Mob Psycho 100 versus Tatsumaki from One Punch Man. Despite not watching the whole of Mob Psycho 100, like I said, I've only watched like 3 or 4 episodes of it, and I kind of was put off by the animations, I'm not gonna lie. But from what I've seen, Mob is fucking ridiculous. Tatsumaki is also very strong, probably one of the strongest heroes in One Punch Man. I think she's an S rank hero from what I remember. Yeah, Tatsumaki is the sister of Blizzard, isn't it? Yeah, Blizzard, yeah. Hellish Blizzard, is that what her name is? I can't remember, but hey. Yeah, even though she's an S-class hero, one of the best heroes out there, I just don't see her beating Mob. From what I've seen of Mob, I can't see Mob losing, honestly. But we just gotta check out the research, and then we'll see how it goes on from there. So I'm gonna go right into this, guys. It's 22 minutes. Okay, it's quite a long video. Let's get to it. Recording's fine, PC screen's fine, volume is doing good as well. So let's get right to it, shall we? So let's get to it in 3, 2, 1, go.
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by 23andMe. It's that time of the year again. Everybody likes a personalized gift, and what's more personal than your DNA?
Wiz, don't make it weird. 23andMe is an easy and awesome way to learn about your ancestry and health.
With over 150 genetic reports and 1,500 geographic regions,
There you go.
there are plenty of talented people in the world, but even then, only a select few have the honor of being called prodigy.
But being a prodigy can get to one's head. Or one's head, if you know what I'm saying. Because, the guy who made both these characters is called One. So,
One.
yeah.
Mob, the reluctant psychic powerhouse from Mob Psycho 100.
And Tatsumaki, the fearless, ferocious Esper from One Punch Man. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Oh boy, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I can tell.
As a citizen of Seasoning City, you would probably be familiar with the local criminal group Claw.
Maybe even the famous sex symbol and so-called greatest.
I mean, it'll be spoilers, because if I'm gonna watch this series later on after this death battle, watching this is definitely spoilers for me. But it is what it is. It's not like I'm gonna do reactions on it, because I've already started watching Mob Psycho 100 outside of YouTube, and I only watched like 3 or 4 episodes, so no point in me doing reactions if you guys were wondering.
A kick of the century, Reagan.
But you probably wouldn't think twice about this plain-looking boy with a bowl cut, Shigeo Kageyama.
Long story short, he's a pretty unremarkable student of Salt Middle School. He's the kid you picked last for dodgeball. He's just sort of there, taking up space and stealing your air.
The kanji in his name can even be misread as mob, which means bland and boring.
Naturally, everybody calls him that.
So you might be surprised to learn that he accidentally took over a local gang, unintentionally founded his own cult, and is an incredibly powerful psychic warrior.
Don't get it mixed up. This isn't your typical superhero secret identity shenanigans. Bob doesn't really give a shit about any of these things. He's just out there trying to fit in by joining the Body Improvement Club,
Right.
which he sucks horribly at. Oh, come on, man. Running's not that hard. Take it from me. And I've got a shotgun for a leg.
Still, when his life is in danger or his friends need protecting,
Dang.
Bob's psychic ability manifests as something truly phenomenal.
He's mega powerful. He might not be able to run a mile without fainting, but he totally can if he boosts his body psychically. He can fly through the
Jesus.
air, fling objects all over the place, throw psychic energy attacks, lift giant buildings, cause city-spinning earthquakes, whip up huge twisters, and more.
He's not just an offensive powerhouse, he can mold his psychic energy around his body as a shield. While
Wow.
this isn't an uncommon technique in Mob's world, it's incredibly useful for him in particular, as he's
So wait, telekinesis and flight, okay, energy absorption, energy transference, spiritual awareness, astral projection, energy barriers, mind control resistance. Jesus Christ!
one of the few psychics who can actually attack and defend simultaneously.
Like when he was fighting a bunch of evil spirits all at once. Oh, talk about weird looking. Wiz, you sure he's not just like tripping balls or something?
No, but you're kind of on the right track. These psychic powers are directly linked to emotions. The more sad, angry, rejected, and so on that you feel, the more powerful your psychic abilities become.
Hey, Wiz, punch me.
What?
Punch me! I need to get really angry so I can do psychic stuff. Really? My grand can hit harder than you. Wow. Do you think it'll work if I'm just so embarrassed about having a friend like you?
Oh.
Wow.
Regardless, the fact that Mob's psychic powers are drawn from his emotions is a conundrum in and of itself. See, when Mob was a child, an attempt to use his powers wound up injuring his younger brother. This tragedy would scar Mob forever, terrifying him of his own ability. As a
Dang.
result, he suppressed his emotions for years.
But just like a needy ex, they'd still boil up in bad situations. Us readers got to see them rise with a handy percentage
Mob's explosion
counter. When
meter.
it hits 100%, Mob goes all out like a Super Saiyan.
Oh,
He
yeah.
can even absorb psychic energy.
They did show that in the full episodes, or briefly explain it, that once it hits 100%, he goes crazy. He lets loose. 100% rage, Mob becomes a serious fighter. 100% anomicity, I can't say that properly. Mob loses some self-control and becomes violent. 100% gratitude, Mob transfers with 100%. Whoa! Mob transfers powers with 1,000% increase. 100% sadness, Mob cries a lot. 100% kindness, Mob creates much stronger barriers to protect towers. Wow! Not bad. Explosion forms. There's so many of them.
While in 100 mode.
But that's not Mob's limit. Far from it. Suppressing his powers had an unprecedented effect on his psyche.
Okay, so yeah, I gotta check these out. 100% courage, Mob becomes more heroic and extremely powerful. 100% obsession, Mob goes on a single-minded rampage. Ecstasy, Mob becomes hysterical and erratic. Question mark form. Mob accesses his inner power, improves range of energy absorption, greatly heightens power, act semi-subconsciously. Kinda like Ultra Instinct like then.
His power became an entity of its own within Mob's mind,
Dang.
representative of his repressed self.
And when things get real bad, it takes over his body in a blind rage. Or blind sadness, whatever he's feeling at the time.
In
Dang.
this unmeasurable state, Mob's true prowess is revealed, and it's extraordinary. His sheer psychic aptitude increases at an alarming rate, including his absorption ability.
Wow.
Powers are being sucked in by Kageyama. All of the energy in the atmosphere. Are you telling me his vessel is able to handle this much?
And while he is often unconscious while his inner self takes over, his questionable state will continue trying to achieve whatever his most recent objective may be. Whether that's taking on the criminal organization Claw or confessing how he feels to his crush.
Alright, I get it. The guy's super strong. So let's figure out just how much psychic power he's got bottled up. Check this out. While smashing this ugly joke through a building, he went from 0 to kick-ass so fast, he caught fire.
Taking this feat literally,
What?
to get this result, he would have to be reaching an ablation speed over 5 times the speed of sound.
Damn.
Fast, but not as fast as a bolt of lightning, which he was quick enough to catch with his shield.
That's not all. In his duel with Claw's boss, Toichiro, Mob took this huge crushing hit, scaling this massive handprint crater to a nearby building, that one, and applying the resulting fragmentation of rock. We found Mob survived an attack worth over 80 tons of TNT.
Dang.
Nah, that's small time for Shiggy. In the same fight, he psycho lifted hundreds of buildings into the air. Look at that thing! Suddenly, I have an unshakable urge to go play Katamari Damacy. Somehow these things will make some
Wow, that is nuts.
Not only is that millions of tons of stone and concrete, but simply creating this orb pushed away the clouds.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. Guys, that's not impressive. Clouds are just fluffy balls of cotton candy. Now, I hear you. I thought so too. But turns out, that's not true at all. Unfortunately, to move clouds in real life, you need a freaking hydrogen bomb.
So it's quite impressive when on another occasion, Mob gathered all these clouds himself. By measuring the area and multiplying by average cloud density, this feat comes out to around 30 gigatons of TNT.
Hey!
20 times the combined destructive capabilities of all the nuclear warheads in the world.
Granted, Mob isn't all powerful. For example, once while absorbing an explosive attack, he reached a definitive limit. Though he compensated by redirecting all that psychic energy into some broccoli seeds, with interesting results.
Oh man, it's gonna be hard to hide that one under the
Jesus,
table.
okay.
In time, Mob eventually reconnected with his repressed self, fully accepting his past and his powers.
So look out, he may look like a total dork, but this is one middle schooler you don't want to try stealing
Yeah.
lunch money from.
I feel it. Rage. Burning in me.
100%. Jesus. Gotta watch this series
In a
again.
world filled with monsters and
worry too
villains
much
which
about
threaten the
animations,
survival
you know?
of humanity on a daily basis, it's a stroke of luck that mankind has its fair share of saviors in the form of superheroes.
Yep.
And some of these heroes are so powerful they can crush all the baddies without even laying a finger on them.
These are espers, superhumans who possess powerful psychic abilities.
And one of them is a girl named Tatsumaki. What the? Is that real? Why did she have cinnamon rolls stuck on her face?
Well, let's just say one is more well known for his excellent storytelling than, say, his art. Regardless, Tatsumaki's psychic abilities were extraordinary, even at a young age. So much so, she was taken from her family to be detained and
Rank
studied
2.
at a research
Process
facility.
hero.
She was 7 years old.
So, not the best childhood, obviously. Lucky for her, she got out thanks to a surprise rescue by the hero called Blast. Who blasts things, I guess? No one really knows.
Either way, Blast's rescue changed Tatsumaki's life forever, and he left her with one very important lesson. When the time comes, don't expect someone to save you.
That's kinda harsh.
Dang.
He is supposed to be a superhero, right?
Whether it be she was inspired by his heroism or torn by his contradiction, Tatsumaki decided to take up hero work for herself. Thus, she took up the mantle, Tornado of Terror.
Yep.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Doesn't that sound more like a supervillain name? And you might mistake her for one too, cause she's kind of a brat.
Well, she is the best at what she does, and she knows it. So she often seems arrogant and rude. With her psychokinesis, she often floats above her opponents, looking down on them literally and figuratively.
Her favorite thing to do is throw rocks at people. Big rocks, small rocks, rocks from outer space, doesn't matter. If it's vaguely rock-shaped, it's flying at you.
Yep.
But she doesn't discriminate. She's also fine throwing other things like trains, schools, people, even a giant octopus.
Not only that, but she can alter the direction of gravity, create town-spanning barriers, twist up a human body, cause magnitude 8 level earthquakes,
Oh.
and spin up enormous whirlwinds. fitting for her namesake.
And that's not even half of it. She's the most powerful Esper of them all, even better than her older sister, Fubuki.
Actually, that's her younger sister.
Younger sister. Tatsumaki's
What?
older.
Man, anime's real confusing.
But given her past,
Yeah.
even with her sister beside her, Tatsumaki has some serious trust issues.
She doesn't even want Fubuki to have friends. Chill out, lady. Friends are important. Right, Liz?
I'm sorry, what?
Oh. Well, he had his chance.
Anyway, manipulating objects and organisms is only part of her skill set. Tatsumaki's power truly shines when it comes to precision.
Oh yeah, she's so talented, she can use her crazy mind power to have full control over television!
Yeah, sure, but that's not really what I had in mind.
Change!
Well, Tatsumaki has some level of control over a person's chi, or as it's known in traditional Chinese culture, vital life force. If she can overpower her opponent, she can use their own chi to disable or even kill them.
Oh.
I did it! I'm psychic!
Against other espers, she can spiral her own energy to redirect theirs, and even suppress their powers in an instant.
Wow.
Yeah, Lady Tornado can block their psychicness whenever she wants, so long as they're a weaker Esper than her. Which basically means everyone. One Punch Man meet the One Thought Woman. Seriously, this chick is so powerful she pulled a meteor from outer space.
Well, while that move is pretty well known, it technically is not canon to the original source material. However, that doesn't mean it's off the table. As it turns out, her other accomplishments prove she's more than powerful enough to pull it off.
No.
Just look at her lifting up this. What am I looking at here?
Good question. Thankfully, one was kind enough to include these lovely labels identifying Z-City and an underground hideout. Now, Tatsumaki is psychokinetically lifting the entire hideout, which
Wow.
was previously stated to reach over 1,500 meters deep. As for the city, the
Okay.
world of One Punch Man is based on real-life locations in Tokyo. So at the very least, we could compare Z-City to a smaller district like Ginza, which consists of about 215 acres. With the size of an average building in that district in mind, and thus scaling the building to the hideout and then to Ginza, we
Dang.
found that Tatsumaki must be lifting over 3 billion tons of rock.
That's like lifting the entire Great Wall of China 62 times. More than powerful enough to pull a meteor from the sky.
When
Yeah.
the alien invader Boros attacked City A with a hailstorm of giant bullets, she was fast enough to stop them in midair and turn
yeah.
them back on the enemy ship.
That is pretty
Scaling
cool.
these bullets to the height
Pretty
of a
cool.
human and gauging by the amount of damage they could cause, the bullets must have been moving 1,800 times faster than sound.
She's tough enough to survive an
Dang.
attack that's 300 times the Earth's gravity, which probably explains why she could push through crazy G-forces while flying and fighting against the One Punch Man himself, Saitama.
By looking at the distance they flew in such a short time frame, they were likely moving more than 36 times the speed of sound.
Which is awesome,
Okay.
but she still didn't win the fight.
It was actually a rather humbling experience for her, finally realizing that perhaps she isn't the most powerful person alive.
I mean, all Espers have limits, including Tatsumaki. Their psychic power drains them of energy, so they can get worn out to a point where they can't do their psycho magic for a while.
Also, she generally has to focus exclusively on either offense or defense.
Right.
So when she's on the attack, her guard is lowered, something a skilled enough opponent can certainly take advantage of. Also, should an Esper like Tatsumaki suffer a serious head injury, their powers become more difficult to use.
So maybe she's not quite the unstoppable goddess she thought she was. And after getting that memo, she finally loosened up a bit. She even let her sis hang out with her friends instead of throwing them into a wall or something. Oh,
Yet, at the end of the day, the idea that anyone could even hope to match the Tornado of Terror's
Dang.
pure psychic power seems laughable.
You
Right.
disgust me. Get lost.
What's with the attitude from this lost child?
For this lost child. Right, okay, this pretty interesting battle, I must say. Let me put the charger in before it goes off. Right, so here's the thing. Mob Psycho, like I said, I've seen a few episodes and I know what the guy is capable of. So it's Tatsumaki. Obviously they pulled a lot of info from the manga, so that's good. More info for me. So it seems like if she was to play offensively and defensively at the same time like Mob does, that's basically her using too much of her powers. So she has to focus on either offensive or defensive. She has to only focus on one. So the problem is, if she focused on being offensive, her guard would be lowered, basically, so Mob could take advantage of that pretty easily. And apparently if she gets hit in the head so hard, her powers become more harder to use. Mob doesn't have that problem. Mob is someone who can undoubtedly have no trouble, you know, being defensive and offensive at the same time. He does it simultaneously. You know, he has no problem doing that. Another thing, she can use someone's aura or something to change. Maybe since they said that she could do a lot of things using the other person's aura, so maybe something like mind control. So if she was to try to control him or his powers in any way, he wouldn't have a problem because he's got mind control resistance, you know. So she won't be able to do much on Mob anyways to begin with. So I feel like, as powerful as she is, she's definitely fast, very fast. Especially when they spoke about the feat where she went up against Saitama. I don't know, like, I just don't, like I said, that this is just my opinion, but I just don't see Tatsumaki beating Mob. I just don't. I'm sorry, but I just don't see her beating Mob. So I'm gonna go with Mob. I'm gonna go with Mob from Mob Psycho 100, but we will see who'd win and why. So let's get right to it, shall we?
Alright, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
Okay, wait a second. Okay, it's fine, it's fine.
But first, my
Yo, the One Punch Man writer can't draw, man. Jesus Christ.
They're telling me that some of you are hungry.
By now, you've probably heard of Blue Apron, the leading meal...
Right, let's go.
Oh, I'm lost.
What are you doing, dummy? Get out of here.
Can you help me? Did you go to the middle school here?
Middle school? Know your place.
Really?
You shouldn't use your powers on others.
62%. Jesus, already. There you go.
You think you're impressive? I'll crush you in 5 seconds flat.
She's a fucking brat, I'm telling you. Sorry for swearing. Dang. 72%. 81%. Oh boy. Once it gets to 100%, she's done for. Pretty good animation so far. Oh boy, there you go. 100%.
Time to teach you a lesson.
Uh-oh.
By the way, just so you know, this is your fault.
Yo! Dude! Yo! He's going ham on her! Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, I had no trouble doing that. It's got that barrier as well. Like, oh. Jeez! He can play offensively and defensively. So, it's not that easy. Uh-oh! He went into question mark power. I don't know what to call that. It's during this form that he kind of goes subconsciously a bit, isn't it? That he starts fighting like that way. Yeah, he's kind of a big shot, yo. Yeah, it's over. It's over for. I'm sorry, Tatsumaki. Like, you're good, just not as good as Bob. Or it's Mob, not Bob. Mob. Oh! Really? You thought that would work on him? Tatsumaki won?
It's me.
What?
Whoa, that was crazy. I thought
Wait, I'm sorry, Tatsumaki won that? Okay, I was surprised. I thought it was done. But she kind of pulled off a meteor from space from his blind spot and he died.
for sure Mob would win with his sucking power.
This was an incredibly close match. Honestly, if we were to run through this fight 100 more times, Mob could reasonably win 40 or so of them.
But we're not here to find out who wins 40% of the time. Mob had tons of awesome abilities, which gave Tatsumaki a hard time. But she still has the stuff to pull off a win more times than not.
Right. First of all, Tatsumaki had a notable advantage when it came to training and experience.
She's a top-ranked superhero who was trained from 7
Hero
years
rank
old,
too,
fighting
so-
a middle schooler who never wanted to use his powers in the first place.
Right.
She was faster too, given her reaction against Boros' bullets moving over 617,000
Fair
meters
enough.
per second.
Sure, Mob reacted to friggin' lightning, but believe it or not, that's still technically slower.
See, a lightning bolt technically has two different speeds to consider. First, for the slower leader of ionized air going down, and second, for the faster flash going up. Given that Mob was reacting to a projectile moving down towards him, this can only mean he was reacting to the leader, which moves 98,000 meters per second, more than 6 times slower than Tatsumaki.
So, even though Mob had the edge of being able to attack and defend at the same time, Tatsumaki was a lot quicker than him. So she could switch between attacking and defending fast enough to counter Mob whenever she really needed to.
Still, that alone doesn't mean Mob couldn't.
But didn't they say that she lowers her guard down when she's going on the offensive? So, okay, so they're trying to say even though her guard's lowered when she goes on the offensive, she is still quick enough to switch from offensive to defensive. Okay.
have eventually scored a fatal blow. All of this would mean nothing if Tatsumaki couldn't overpower Mob's absorbing shield.
His awesome power-up suck!
Right, we know Mob's sucking shield had a limit given how he was forced to transfer absorbed energy into
Right.
those seeds, growing a massive head of broccoli in an instant. We can actually use
There's a
this
limit.
broccoli to get a general idea of Mob's absorbing limits. Broccoli typically requires 143 kilojoules of energy to grow 1/10 of a kilogram's worth. Scaling this giant one to the nearby buildings, we found it to be 21 million times larger than the average broccoli. This means Mob must have transferred enough energy to equate to about 1.6 megatons of TNT.
Yeah, but how about the energy Tatsumaki used to stop and redirect those giant bullets? Those things are huge, solid shells with no explosive component, given how Saitama here was able to crush one without triggering a big kaboom. And they could wipe out a whole city.
We're shown that the shells destroyed most of City A in one shot, and we can see how much damage they dealt to Boros' ship when Tatsumaki turned them around. With this data in mind, the height of Boros' ship, and the already calculated bolt speed, we determined the energy she displayed here must have equaled at least 470 gigatons of TNT.
Nice.
Way more than Mob's big cloud feet, and more than enough to shatter his shield all at once. Tatsumaki was just
Right.
too damn powerful. And it's not like Mob could absorb giant rocks thrown at him either.
Certainly, Mob's unique powers were generally passive and defensive, whereas Tatsumaki's were better suited to precision strikes and deadly blows. Once Mob's barrier was down, she had plenty of options for wrapping things up,
Wow.
whether it be blocking his psychic power, controlling his chi, or simply crushing him herself.
And her powers weren't dependent on her feelings, so she was always at full strength, no matter what the situation was.
Mob certainly had the skill and ability to put up an incredibly close fight, but Tatsumaki's experience, speed, and power put an end to this prodigious battle.
That's a good point. That's actually probably one of the best points they've made in this video. Her powers does not rely on her emotions, so she can always be at her most powerful state. Like always when she wants to, despite what emotion she's at. With Mob, it's different. He kind of has to reach a certain amount of emotion, so he has to be in a certain emotion state in order to release the powers, of his psychic abilities. So that's actually a very good point they've made, which I failed to look at.
She just had the experience she needed.
The winner
Stop.
is Tatsumaki.
Okay, fair play. Tatsumaki won. Fair play. It's a good battle.
This episode of Death
Very good
If you
battle.
want the battle music for yourself, you can get by clicking the link down below, and you can check out more of our stuff right over there.
Who's next?
You can't have a death battle season without Deadpool, right?
Deadpool.
right?
Deadpool, right?
Hey, Boomstick.
Yeah, Wiz.
I think I might know a way to get rid of Deadpool once and for all.
Let's kill Deadpool. The mask, get that. No, Deadpool versus the Mask. Yo, this was a movie I saw back when I was a kid with Jim Carrey. No way. Yo, Deadpool versus the Mask. Okay, interesting. But I gotta see what the comment sections gotta say about this. Who thought that Mob would win? Everybody but me. I wanted him to win, but I'm not mad. This fight, yeah, the fight was very good. I'm not mad that he lost because the battle was just that good. So yeah, imagine murdering a child for trying to go to school. Yeah, that's true. This just in so-called hero murders kid because he asked for directions to his school. God damn. Then again, Mob did say he doesn't hit girls. I mean, okay, interesting. I mean, I imagine one just sitting back and sipping a drink while watching this. This fight didn't look remotely even. It looked like Mob was destroying her the entire fight. That's true. I can't say for sure whether either of them deserve to win the fight, and them saying he wins 40% of the time means that he still has a chance to win if the situation plays out right. True. If 40% is almost half of the time, you know? But I mean, he clearly got in some good headshots and twisted her arms multiple times over, and afterwards she just kind of untwisted her own arms, but she still effed from that dude. Yeah, the thing is, he twisted her arms. Like, first he twisted them, then he wrapped it around. And somehow she used her own psychic abilities to get rid of that twisted arm. Like, I don't know how you do that. Why are you two skipping class? It's just crazy. Like, so we're just gonna ignore the fact they call Tatsumaki bullet feet reverse, you know? He literally twisted her body up. How did that not kill her? Apparently, I don't know. I guess they're just assuming she's basically just like Clothes Boss. The fight that you saw, it's just for your entertainment. She used her Esper powers to continue the blood flow from the severed arteries and reconstructed herself at a cellular level. Once the fight was done, she didn't take any damage to the head. Ah, that's true. As long as she did not take any damage to the head, she's good to go. They did say that her powers become more difficult to use if she gets hit by the head, which is why they said that, you know, Mob can probably win at least 40% of the time. So one of the ways he could win in that 40% win rate is by delivering a hit to the head of Tatsumaki that she can't use her powers as easily anymore, and he could use that to his advantage and beat her. But this was still a great fight. I'm not gonna kind of be mad about it. If anything, I was shocked that she won. But yeah, this was a great fight. It was probably one of my favorite fights for sure. As for next death battle, I don't know what the heck's gonna go down. I haven't seen the mask in God knows how long. Like, I saw Mask with Jin Kari, then I saw the Son of the Mask. I don't know whether that was a sequel. Was it a sequel? I can't remember. But it was definitely like the whole same situation, putting the mask on and whatnot. But yeah, it was a great death battle today, Tatsumaki versus Mob. I don't know whether this is gonna get, blocked. We'll gotta wait and see. What I'm gonna try to do is I'm not gonna monetize this video. I'm gonna see if I can just leave it as it is without being monetized and see how it goes. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching my reaction to Mob from Mob Psycho 100 versus Tatsumaki from One Punch Man Death Battle. Hope you guys enjoyed my reaction to it. If you guys did enjoy my reaction, be sure to smash the like button, comment and share, all those good things, so to see more content of me doing more Death Battle reactions like this in the future. However, if you guys are new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button and join the DLP guild today so you won't miss a single video from the channel, guys, whether it's gaming videos, whether it's reaction videos, or whether it's live streams. So as always, guys, this is your boy Dina signing out, and have a nice day, stay awesome, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. So until then, peace.